Mock Draft Monday. Always fun. Let's get right into this. So we're going to do a full 7-round mock draft today. Normally we only do 3 rounds, but today we are doing a full 7-round mock draft. And I'm telling you right now, it is hard for me to not look at Starks and take Starks in this pick. Given who is available right here, because this is actually a little bit different than our normal mock drafts here. Normally our mock drafts, Abdul Carter going 6 to the Raiders. What are we even talking about? Ashton Genty going in front of Abdul Carter. Please, please, please let Abdul Carter fall to pick 17. Let us get Abdul Carter. I know it won't happen. I'm just saying, let it happen. Anyway, but with that being said, kind of going through this list of players right here, we're not taking Luther Burden, okay? I don't think we're going to take Donovan. Kenneth Grant is an option here. I would say really the options are Starks, Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. But again, at that point, you could just trade down in all honesty and get one of these guys, right? Gray Zabel, he's another option. Jalen Walker is an option. You probably don't want these guys at pick 17, let's be honest. So at this point, you would probably want to trade down. So like, for example, if the Broncos wanted to trade down, right? And you could go ahead and stockpile some picks. So maybe, I don't know. Okay, so it looks like they are willing to give 122, which is like a 4th round pick. Okay. Okay, so they're not willing to give a 2nd round pick. How about something like this? Okay, so we trade down 3 picks. We get pick 85, which is going to be, let me just check it here. So pick 85 is going to be an extra 3rd round pick, and we got an extra 6th round pick out of this. So we trade down 3 spots. We end up getting 2 additional picks, which honestly I feel like is probably what we're going to do. So the Broncos traded up to take Kenneth Grant, right? In the end, we take Starks 3 picks later, but now we have 2 extra picks. So we could use that in theory to trade up or trade down if we wanted to, or do whatever we want. Right here, I'm actually taking Benjamin Morrison. I'm going to give our new defense coordinator, Al, one of his boys. Then in this one, now this is 3rd round, but this is one of our 2 picks in the 3rd here. This is when now you have an extra pick. You can kind of go wherever you want, right? Because you got the extra pick. So, okay, I haven't really done a full 7-round mock draft in a hot minute, so I'm not trading down again. I mean, they could. Obviously, they could trade down again and again and again. They want to, but it's not really what you want to do. Maybe 1 trade down's okay, but you're not really getting multiple trade downs in this draft. See. Go linebacker. I mean, so far we went safety and corner. I'd like to go something on the defensive line, preferably, or edge, but it would be kind of going, you would be what I'm looking for, reaching if you went for someone on the defense, like the edge rusher right there. You do got Jordan Phillips from Maryland. Wouldn't be a bad option. You're not going wide receiver here. You're not really going running back. I mean, you could if you have an extra 3rd round pick, but you're probably not here. Could go with a center and move him to guard. So Jared Wilson did play 2 years of right guard, it looks like. Not many snaps of right guard, but he did play some right guard. 6'3", 310 pounds. He may be a 1-year starter, but he has the movement skills to be a starting center in the NFL if he can continue to improve his IQ, anticipation with more snaps. So that's interesting to me a little bit, just because the fact that, we could move Teddy K to left guard. I would like to see Matt Lee get that job, but hey, at the end of the day, if we could use this guy as guard or center. That's always a possibility. I'm kind of torn on this one here, to be honest. So we got someone who's isn't the most dynamic athlete, but his solid pass blocking technique, downfield power in the run game gives him a chance to be a starter in the NFL. I'm probably gonna go with him. I might be reaching a little bit, but I'm actually gonna go with the guard there. Again, the center pick is not a bad option, so he actually went right after my pick. So I could have probably got the center and the guard, but I'm not really too into going with the guard there. Not going tight end. I might go tight end later now that we have an extra pick. There's always a chance now you could go with tight end a little bit later. I'm actually going to go with defensive lineman here from Maryland. Okay. Now we are in the 4th. Let's see what edge rushers we have available here. So we got Robinson here from Alabama. Looks like he's more of a pure edge rusher. He's twitchy and traits wide edge prospects to bet on. Despite his lack of experience, his burst and length are NFL calibers, but he must diversify his pass rush wins to be seen as a consistent starter or rotational pass rusher, likely in a 3-4 scheme that will let him rush from a stand-up alignment. 6'5", 241 pounds. Other guy we have here, I'm actually probably going to go with that guy, actually, now that I think about it. From Bama, too. Okay, so far, we could go running back in the 5th here. I know it's not the sexiest pick of all time, but there's always a chance we go running back and just cut Zach Moss. Obviously, we're going to most likely keep Samaje Perine, let's be honest. But there's always a chance we do cut Zach Moss here. There's always a chance we also go tight end. This is something that has been talked about much. Hasn't been talked about that much, but it is something that is very truthful when it comes to this. Is you could also go tight end dependingly, but you do want to get someone for the future. Tanner Hudson is not your future, and neither is Mike Gesicki. I know right now he is, but not for the foreseeable future after a couple years. You know, you want someone you can actually develop and train to be the future of your team. So for right now, though, Mike Gesicki is the guy, and if Eric All comes back healthy, he is also the guy, let's be honest. But again, that does come down to ifs. All right, let's go with, I kind of want to go with another edge here or another defensive lineman. I wouldn't mind going offensive lineman in all honesty, especially given our situation. I would be reaching for this guy, though, and I feel like I could definitely get him a little bit later on. Because keep in mind, we have 3 more draft picks here. So I feel, I don't know, though, if he'll be around at 193. I'm going to take him now, but that would probably be reaching. But I don't know if he was going to be available at 193, because as you can see, these guys are kind of flying off the board here. Now, in the 6th round, I'm going defensive line again. I know you probably thought I was going to go wide receiver, but not the case here. But I am going to go with tight end here from Bama. And that's actually going to be our last pick. So this is what we got. I got a B+. Okay. We traded down, got Starks a little bit later on. With trading down, we ended up getting Jordan Phillips, which is an A- according to PFF. We also got a tight end, which is a C- according to PFF. And we still got Starks, which is an A. We also got Benjamin Morrison, so a cornerback that played in our Golden's defense last year. Who knows what he's doing? We have a guard to hopefully fix our offensive line issue. We actually drafted 2 guards here. A defensive line edge rusher, defensive line, and a future tight end for the foreseeable future. It's also a 6th round draft pick. So in reality, that might not end up being anything anyway. So, you know, it's there for being there. I'm going to take Starks again in this draft, but who wants to trade? I'm going to trade down again, actually. I do kind of like the idea of trading down here. Okay. Let's see. So, ooh. I'm trying to make this realistic, though. Like, obviously, they're not going to give us too much. I'm going to do this. And this time, we ended up getting 3 additional picks. So, bar none, my controller just fell out of my hands. So, we ended up, in the end here, getting 2 additional 6th-round picks. So, 2 additional 6th-round picks, and we got another 3rd-round pick. We trade down 5 picks. And Starks is still available. Also, Sanders goes to the Steelers. So, again, you know, I still get my guy, and I get to trade down. I'm pretty damn happy with that situation in the end. See, it's hard for me not to go with Morrison this time. But I'm going to actually go away from Morrison. I'm actually going to go with... feels like a specialized finesse pass rusher outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. You want to be more versatile. You might be disappointed in lacking consistency. Well, we don't want that then. How about JT? Kind of looks like he's better in run support. Is a good floor for an edge rusher in a 4-3 unit. His pass rush win rate is average over the last 2 years. With quite a few cleanup sacks, he improved his true pass rusher win rate in 2024. He's a good day 2 prospect to bet on because you'll get a spot in a starting / rotational floor out of him. Okay. See, this is why I want Benjamin Morrison, because I feel like I can trust Benjamin Morrison. I know what I'm getting out of him. I watched him at Notre Dame. I am a Notre Dame fan. I love Notre Dame, and I've watched this guy play. He's really freaking good. I'm taking him again. I don't care, actually. Now that I look at the other options available, I'm taking him. All right, so I think in this one I'm gonna take Jordan Phillips here. This time, I think I'm gonna go with this. Hold up. This is gonna be how I'm gonna do this. Oh, someone took him. Dang it, man. Yup. Freaking Texans took him. I hate you so much, Houston, for that. Whatever, I'll take a cornerback. Give me... I can't wait till they take a tight end in the 3rd round this year, guys. And we're all going to be screaming and yelling. They're going to take a tight end in the 3rd round, and we're all going to be so freaking livid with the Bengals this year. I cannot wait for this situation to happen. I just know this crap is going to happen. We're going to end up being so pissed off by this draft because they're going to take some stupid pick in like the 3rd round. And we're going to be like, why? Why even do that? And then we got to remember they're the Bengals. So they're going to do it. All right. This one, I don't know how I feel about this mock draft. This mock draft was kind of weird. We got an A-, so we got better this time. So in the end, we got Starks, we got a corner, we got a defensive lineman, a center who also played right guard in college, another guard, a corner, an edge rusher, defensive lineman, and tight end. So that's not too bad. They said I should have took this guy over Benjamin Morrison because we looked at this guy though, and this guy had some issues. So guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys next one.